Welcome to Floor to Explore, the podcast where every episode takes you on a journey across the world of flooring, from rugged warehouse surfaces to cutting-edge sports courts and design-forward interiors. We have seen the good, the bad, and the beautifully coated, and we are here to share it all, from lab innovation all the way to real-world application that are revolutionizing industries. Together with guests from around the globe, we'll uncover stories, challenges, and the innovations that keep the world moving, one floor at a time. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Floor to Explore podcast. I am Dr. Ralph Joos, CEO, founder of FLOORFINDER Asia, and today your host of this episode. So today we are going to explore the engineering, the high sophisticated technology of sports surfaces. So this is a very special thing because for this we invited an expert, a long-term expert is here, is Mr.Goh from Vagant Resources. We are going to discover the great excellence, not only of the manufacturing of the sports surfaces itself, but also the installation itself. Welcome, Mr.Goh of Vagant Resources, Malaysia.
Hello everybody. First of all, I'm proud. Thanks for the invitation of the Dr. Ralph for us to have the chances to come to this conference. So I'm proud of that. Thanks for your invitation.
It's a great pleasure for us to welcome you. Also, thank you for the most precious you could give us, your time. Floor, it doesn't sound too sexy. You know, many people, they don't even think twice about it. And especially, we are going to change that. Behind every world record, high, extraordinary great match, or whatever training section at a school, at a multi-purpose sports field, there is all the time the engineering behind. Today we are going to uncover that hidden science. So before we talk about courts, coatings and all these technical stuff, it's a little bit good to get a warm up. So Mr.Goh, please be so kind and tell us a little bit more about yourself. How you get in this business, since when are you doing that, and what makes you crazy in this kind of field?
Okay, actually it's for quite some couple of years ago. Vagant been start operating since 2009. Before that, I'm under employment of the other companies, which is also in the sport industry. When I left the company, the first thing for the Vagant is how I look into this industry. For me is, in this country, we still lacking of those facilities to be provided and upgrades. For the past 20 years, we have seen that our government is very emphasized on the educations. But apart from that, they overlook how the sport can help all our children grow in healthy, and also is another performance for them to show up based on this. So I look into the sport really for the future is a very bright market, and with my heart, I hope after 30-40 years, I can see thousands of facilities that Vagant built for our nation and also for our children. That's why I insisted we must deliver a good job in this for everyone.
It's more than excellent. I mean, children are all our future in any case, so that's why it's great. It's a great piece of excellence. Thank you. Just by the way, if you look what you have already done, what you have realized, developed, and all these stuff, you know, what do you think is a very important part to improve, especially from the developers or even engineers, architects, whoever? What do you see is today the most, call it misconcept or in a positive formulation, how they can improve? What should they do on your point of view?
throughout for the past 16 years we in the market, we have gone through. So we look into everything that we come across a lot of those different kind of the situation. For those developer and architects, what normally whatever the choosing, they overlook in the things is what is the main usage purposes. In our country, Malaysian, always they want to use as a multi-purpose.
Okay.
Multi-purpose usage, we have to be emphasized which will be the priority. Example, they want to have a multi-purpose basketball court together with the volleyball court. Which type of the surface is more suitable? Which is the priority? Basketball or volleyball? Unless it's specifically only example for football, mainly for football. Running tracks, mainly for athletics. Then it will be more focused on their design.
Okay, understood. So is it nowadays more on indoor or more on outdoor, or is it equal balanced?
It's more on the indoor especially, because we found that a lot of those multi-purpose hall, besides they use for sport, they also use it for other events such as dinners, conference, as well as the other ceremonies where they held on the floor. And when this happens, it's always the end user, they have to be look into the protections. Different kind of the event, different kind of the furniture usage, it may affect the flooring.
Okay.
Apart from main favorite to the sport usage.
Okay, understood. So they also need to have a certain protection for these other events, not called sports. Okay, great. Go a little bit more in the technical challenges you faced, especially in the past. Do you remember, or are you willing to share some nightmare? I mean, what something really went wrong, and just tell us how you solved it.
Normally, for us, Vagant Resources, our preferences is we start from the design and building from the foundation, where we can control the things to the specification and requirements, because the requirement for the sport is different compared to the normal other usage, where we have to meet up with all the variance level.
Right.
Okay. The most critical part is always that sometimes the client, the contractor, they already built up the foundation. The foundation which is not fit to receive the sport flooring. We have come out with a lot of different kind of the methods, solutions. Try to see what could we do the best in order for the platform that it can be used and suitable for the sport flooring. And worst to worst scenario is demolish the whole thing, we do the whole things. Because there is no other way that you can rescue, which example is the critical structural cracks on the flooring. We will emphasize no matter how good to try to rescue the things, these things still will happen in the future. It's a matter of time, whether in 1 month, 3 months, half a year.
So until, as you said, you mentioned it very clearly, whatever you do it from A to Z. Better be involved from the very beginning, from the design, from the construction work itself, the main works, until the final one. This is what usually the people or the sports guys will see, is the sports track as an example. So do it from A to Z. This is important to avoid any nightmares or any negative impacts, and even guarantee a long-term usage. That means durability. Am I right?
Yeah. Okay. The foundation having the problem is sometimes when the client, the contractors, they build the foundation, they don't really look into what is the foundation going to use for.
Right.
They just do simply like something they can hold the platform, but they don't know end of the day for the sport. They actually very emphasize on leveling workmanship.
Okay, so coming to this point, it's definitely also a crucial task. It's call it budget, you know. I mean, also these governments or whoever is responsible for it has to create a budget. Do you ever get into trouble that the budget is finally, call it compromise or the leakage of the problem or a potential problem?
Yeah.
How do you go along with that?
Okay, for the budget of purposes, every single cent there is a value. Okay, so whatever we deliver, we only emphasize to our client every single cent of the value they spend end of the day with the product, they will get it worth that more than spend with the qualities and performance and usability. It's not on how much the budget will look into it, is how much it will worth when they start using, how many athletes, how many children they can train and grow on the flooring that we provided.
Okay.
Which can't be justified based on the value of the money.
You worked in all different kinds of sports surfaces. If it is a multi-purpose sport, as you mentioned, the tennis courts, the running tracks, athletic tracks. What do you emphasize is the most overlooked consideration in the sports flooring? Or in other words, what is the major demand, let's say the next 10 years from your point of view?
Throughout, we have come across with a lot of clients. Basically, they do already have look into want to have the good sport facilities. But the one thing they always overlook is the dimension of the court. They always, the well-designed platform allocated for the court itself, okay, only for the playing purposes. But they didn't really know that safetiness is also one of the most criteria in the sport. Then, when they well-designed, they didn't really have the safety zone for the player. Example, we talk about the basketball. Basketball, always they have the sizes, standard sizes.
Right.
But how is the protection for the basketball, the pole? When the player, they didn't have a sufficient safety zone for the player. As well as with others, some sort of like volleyball, where you need much more space compared to only the playing area. So this is always, they have been overlooked in designing because of the lens sizes and others.
Lens sizes, but furthermore, as you mentioned, I mean, sports court, as far as I know, they have a special size, standard sizes, you know. So, to understand it right, the standard sizes are well known of these different kind of fields, courts, whatever, but it's not considered the safety area they are surrounding. Aren't there any standards for that, safety standards?
For different kind of the sport, basically they different kind of the buffer and safety zone. So it depends on which kind of the sport is mainly used for the flooring.
Okay.
If you say, such as volleyball and basketball court,
Right.
the size of the basketball you can fit for the volleyball, then definitely there won't be any issue. If you want to design the netball together with the basketball, then you were facing the safety zone problem because the netball size is similar to basketball, and the safety zone for netball will be much more bigger compared to the basketball.
Then the best recommendation for our listeners here would be careful whatever kind of courts, multi-purpose courts you are using. If the sizes are more or less similar, but add on the bigger safety zone.
Bigger safety zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. If we come to this kind of, this is very important that you just told that. What makes a floor, sports surface, sports floor for you perfect?
Throughout the year, there is no such thing as perfect surface because every client, every people, they have a different kind of the implementation on their expectation. Whatever we can deliver and as a perfect for them is we follow all the manufacturing all the spot requirement test report. This is how we deliver our finishing to end user. We come across a lot of those different kind of the requirements. Eventually, some of the client, they have a lot of those board of directors, different kind of people, they have different kind of the definition. I prefer something like this thing is more too rough for me, too smooth for me, color too grading for me, or leveling. They want the perfect leveling, which is not possible to perform. We have to follow the variance and minimum tolerance requirements. Whatever is the manufacturing test report and all the finishing, we just follow and deliver accordingly. Sorry to say, there is no perfect flooring for
Okay,
all.
but we can make it a little bit simple. Say it this way, as a summary. You tell me if you agree or not. Important is that you have, of course, a good material which works out well, easy to apply and all these stuff, you know. And of course is fulfilling all the requirements, call it standards or whatever. And at least the same importance is to the craftsmanship of the applicator. Am I right?
Yeah. We will try to use our applicator to communicate with the client. What is the things you expect? How you want to the things, from the smoothness to the roughness of the cord.
So you prepared a sample before and they double check it and they agree and say, yes, this is it. We would like to have it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will be, the formulation of the finishing will be modified according to the client's wish.
Okay. All over, you painted a very clear picture about the technical stuff, the science about it, yeah. But how about, you know, we are all humans. So how you put all these things together? Do you think the decision, which kind of floor, which kind of system, which kind of use, do you think that on the other side, I mean the developers or the decision makers, that means the customers, do you think they have all of them the knowledge to make the right decision?
When all those developers, first of all, when they want to have such facilities, or the architects, we will be trying to ask what is the first priority of the usage they will be using for. If they say it is mainly for basketball, or mainly for the volleyball, or badminton, so different kind of the sport, different kind of the requirement. It's not only on the flooring apart from it. We also have to look into the air ventilation for
Right.
badminton. How is the lighting, weighting, shooting for the players? All these side factors actually affected how to build up a good sport facilities. So apart from the flooring, so we will be also highlight whichever our end user, they need to look into it. It's not only as a sport specialist, it's not only our responsible to look on the flooring. We
course.
also have to help them to see something that they might be not aware of.
Right.
Something like lighting, okay, and others, the surrounding issues, safety zone,
Right.
and others as well.
Let's say the full picture. Yeah. So do you usually get involved from the very beginning? I mean, do they come to you and ask you for technical support, advice, consultancy before it comes even to a job or a tender specification or whatever? Are you usually involved from the very beginning?
For us, we do very happy if we can be starting involved at the beginnings, so that we can well know the whole concept and we can highlight to the architect with their surrounding the whole developments, how to fit with the spot without double handling. If we are actually come in the middle or day after, they might be have other things in their development which might be affected the sport facility they are going to use to build. Just like example, if there is a sport complex together with the running track and football field. So what we look into it, the platform, the surrounding, And one of the most important criteria is what is their discharge point? Where is the depth of their outer discharge, whether they can cope the water, and for the water to discharge. The main pipe surrounding issue we have to look into it is not only that build the running track or the football field itself. We have to find a way whether there's a water supply, and in the bigger development, where there is the lighting, high mast lighting, position, cabling, and others as well.
Okay, in any case, all over is highly sophisticated. Usually the people, they do not see that. It's the invisible tasks you also have to manage. So we see you need to have all the time professionals on site, on the job. Otherwise, it will not work out. But this is one part. That's the technical part. That's the so-called buyer, the customer. Usually, all the running tracks or sports facility are mainly public and not private. That's also some important. We can say nowadays about 95% is public and only 5% are more or less private. But what is mostly overlooked is another thing. We talk about sports surfaces. We talk about running tracks as an example, athletics. I mean, we all know these athletes. They are training, they are practicing for years, for decades, for whatever championships, if it is Olympic or if it is World Champion or whatever, Southeast Asian Games, it doesn't matter, championships. They train for milliseconds, many years. Why? The sports floor, the sports surface, which is, of course, a very important, plays an important role to gain a new record. Why is it so underestimated? Why this is not an issue in the entire concept?
Okay, in this question, normally I will look into when they are talking about the sport for all the athletes, players. Their first focus will be their skill and stamina, which is very important.
Of course.
When they come across, when everybody is focusing on one thing, is where they look into it, then the following part, it becomes the one they always overlooks. Because they look itself on the player, the participants, the competition, but they always forget about how is their floor condition and what is the safetyness. A good flooring actually can help to have the best performance. A good flooring also actually can help to prolong the life of the athletics.
Of course.
For the safetyness of them as well. So this have to become to be something that we have to highlight to them, that you have to look into is not only on the player itself.
Yeah, it's a part. Yeah, it's very clear. Okay, but this brings me to another interesting question. So as you know, running track system, let's stay to the running track, athletic track system. So there we know usually three types of these kind of tracks. We have the so-called full pour track, we have the so-called sandwich track, and the spray coat track. Yeah, so based on that, if you just look from the point of view as an athlete, which kind of track you would choose to gain a record?
Okay.
Or what brings you the highest chances to gain a new or overtake a new world record, as an example?
For the worldwide competition, always they will look into the full PU system, full pour system. The reason is full pour system is they have a higher performance, shock absorbance for the safetyness, and much more longer durability. Is really anytime prepared for the wear and tear.
But does it play a role, durability? I mean, a world championship is here for a week, or at the host for a week or two, that's it, and it's gone. So I think durability doesn't play a role for a record. What plays the major role for the record?
The record will be the flooring qualities, the feel, the bouncing, where they can have the much more energy returns, and then with the faster performance to fit with their spacious
Right.
in all the facilities.
Okay, based on these three types, what I told, full pour, sandwich, spray, what do you think most likely you will get, or most probably you gain a record?
Of course, full pour will be the first priority.
Right.
For budgeting purposes, for the national players, national competition, due to the budget constraints, we might be choose for the sandwich.
Right.
But for those school level and higher education, the main part is the budgetings. Then at least they can minimum have the spray coat system.
Right.
At least if we cannot have the best, at least we have the basic for the children, for the school.
Understood. Yes, and this is logic to me. As a summary, the full pour system has, of course, the bouncing, but it's also strong. So it is not too soft. So when you run as a sprinter, especially as a sprinter, you don't lose too much energy just in the softness or in the, call it, bouncing effect on the track. So it's all running forward. Sounds logic. Thank you for this update here. Now we go back again in these technical issues. From your point of view, based on your experience, the architects or the consultants often get wrong when specifying sports surfaces.
It's actually the most critical part for the consultant to choose the sport flooring is always depends on end user, what sort of the usage. Just like example, if one multi-purpose hall, when they want to use for different kind of the sport, let's say example, for badminton, basketball, netball, futsal, volleyball, if you want to have something that can fit and use suitable for all, so of course it might be, for example, the indoor PU floor. But how about the performance? If you want to have the performance for mainly for the basketball, then you have to satisfy a bit for the badmintons.
Right.
Because badminton, you don't need such thickness. Eventually, example, even though for the gymnasium, they might be much more safetyness, much more thicker.
But this is an interesting part. Just explain, please. What's the main difference? Basketball, badminton. These are two different kinds of sports. Yes, of course, everyone knows that. But what's the difference of the functionality of the expectation on the sports floor?
Different kind of the sport. In terms of the safetyness, the basketball, which is very aggressive games. There is always a push, and then how is the fall down, all those. That's why we will need a much more thicker flooring in order for protect the players. But in the other way, when you use for the badmintons, always they want to have jump, and then all those, they are more emphasized on the flooring so that they can move fast. If too soft, they might be affected the performance, which they are unable to achieve their top performance to jump and smash. So for game and leisure purposes, definitely it won't have much differences. But for the competition, of course, they will very emphasize. Apart from there also is the lighting brightness of the hall as well. For the badminton, you need much more brighter compared to basketball or volleyball. Because
the ball is smaller.
The ball is small. The speed is different.
Yes, I agree. Okay, but is there anything else, you have the so-called area elastic floors, you have these mixed elastic floors, you have the point elastic, is there anything you can say one fits all, or?
For multi-purpose, of course, the full pour system will be much more preferred. But apart from that, it need protections. it always make more protection compared to the normal flooring.
Understand. So, and what are the most, call it, the mainly used sports floor indoor here in the region of Southeast Asia?
Okay, for the sport flooring, basically they have different kinds of finishing. One of these will be the PVC flooring, okay, timber flooring with all the system, okay, and then PU flooring. These will be the three most commonly used flooring for the indoor sport hall. Apart from there, they have some others like interlocking tiles. Okay, it's maybe just to suit the building. There's some restrictions or whichever. So basically, it put in the category of these four kinds of the flooring.
Based on your point of view, what would you say is, of course, as we are also in the polyurethane business, has the polyurethane sports floor, let's stay indoor, any real disadvantage, or does it just have advantages?
Throughout our experience, we look into how is the flooring performance. PUR flooring is most favored to the player.
So finally, the user, the sportsman, they highly appreciate polyurethane flooring, right? There is also something else. Just I'm curious now, what about this so-called old-fashioned called PVC flooring, nowadays newly mentioned vinyl flooring? How about this?
Okay, the PVC, all those floorings, okay, they also have their achievement.
Right.
Some sort of like Olympics games.
Yeah.
You can see those who play in the volleyball, netball, badmintons. Those are all the PVC flooring. Those flooring basically, they have their performance to achieve as well. But one part for that, easier maintenance, less maintenance compared to the PU flooring. But in terms of the comfortability of the player on the foot, the floor grips on the foot players, I believe that the PU flooring, they still have more advantages on this compared to the PVC flooring.
What do you mean with less maintenance of the PVC flooring?
PVC flooring, they actually come is the pre-fed from the factory itself, where they can have the advantages in the factory with the high technology machine to treat the surface finishing.
Definitely,
with,
yes. Yeah.
With some protections, where it wouldn't get easily for the stain or whichever. So this is the advantage of the PVC flooring.
But what about all these joints and all these connection parts? How is that?
The joint on the connection parts, basically, those is to be depends how good the installer, how is their working, the layman attitude to make the things to be perfect, to mesh with the games.
I understand, yeah. Another thing, is there any project, but you remember, which went perfectly well from A to Z, and what was the reason for?
One of my project is to be done in the Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's a Sky Arena sport complex where we are actually work together with the developer in building the concept of the whole sport complex. In this, I heard that this sport complex been awarded in 2019, 2020 and 2024 on their design structure and other things. The facility itself, they do have the indoor hall for the multi-purpose, swimming pool, squash court, and we, Vagant Resources, are in charge on the synthetic running track with the natural gas football field, and then also with the irrigation track and field event, which is under IW Class 2 certification.
So in other words, everything started from the very beginning, all together, design, negotiations, back and forth, looking for all the pros and cons, finally worked out everything together until the real application and final acceptance, right?
Yes. For this, we really have to thank you. Thanks for all the architect consultants. They can accept our technical advice and they can understand the whole construction process.
Isn't it helpful in such a case, to create something together with all of them, call it a case study or whatever, because it will be a benefit for all. So in other words, it means if someone is working together from A to Z, is the best warranty to get for everyone the very best, isn't it?
Of course, when always in the development, the time, the schedule is one of the criteria. They look into it. When we need to know together, work together with the main contractor on how the overall environment, the whole progress of the construction. And these things is very important in how to build, to make up the running, the whole facility just smooth without any delay and conflicts with others.
When developers or architects are listening, so you finally said before, that's why I came to it, if you are able to work from A to Z together, so you have some time, you really can finally deliver everything at its best performance for everyone. But you also told, very often is also the issue, timing, budget, and all these things coming together, which can be a bottleneck. Now the question is, if now we just ask again one question to architects or developers, before they say yes to whatever product or system, what are the key questions they should come up, they should ask first before they decide we want to have this or that product or system?
First of all, we have to understand their whole concept developments on what level. Primary school, secondary school, university, or even international level.
Right.
Different kind of the category, they have different kind of the flooring in the system where they more suit for them. Second thing will be, what is their usage for? You want to use for running tracks for the primary school or secondary school? You want the international track 400 meters or 200 meters is sufficient enough? Okay, the football field as well. You want the FIFA size, FIFA standard, or you want just for the children playing minimum size, mini football size? We need to gather all this information from the client to see. Then only we will propose what is the switch and the need for their facilities.
So as a summary, as more exact they know what they are really want, as more precise any proposal will be from your side, right?
Yeah. Eventually, even some nowadays, they do have they build on the rooftop. When this is the rooftop, then it's another different kind of
Of course, yeah.
the scenario, and then finishing as well. So there is something that we just wish to share. There is no fixed formulation to choose of whatever the spot flooring. The formulation is just only the guideline for for us to see which will be more suitable.
Another thing which just came to my mind, when we're talking about the sports, standards, guidelines. A running track has 400 meters. A tennis court has this length, this width, these lines, 5 centimeters, and all this stuff. So finally, everything is restricted. Everything is a so-called standard. Is there even any development possible in the sense of sports surfaces, or the other way around? Based on your experience, what kind of new developments you wish for you as a supporter of the fields and tracks?
Basically, we should look more on how to education. We will pass our knowledge to the next generation, to all the consultants, so that they're aware how important the spot flooring the sport facility so that it can be developed in future and going on and going on. It's not like just after we do, then it stop in here. It is not easy for us to work in the sport because it is not a very common industry where we can learn the knowledge of the sport requirement everywhere. We have to get involved ourselves. We have to get involved to study all the cases and all the conditions, the requirements. Only we can have able to call as a sports specialist to help our client to build a perfect flooring. But apart from there, we have to go through the training, the experience in handling this. Won't be a short training. We have to learn from every job site. We need to have the candidates, they can willing to learn and willing to work under the hot sun, under the football field, under the running tracks, and even in the indoor, under construction with all the dust. So for the sport flooring is very specialized and you need the commitment to learn from the experience.
Finally, all is about education. And of course, it's hardly difficult. Sports flooring is a niche market in this world. And yeah, people need to be willing to learn and gain experiences. So it's important to share. And this is also one reason why we started this kind of podcast, to share information, to share experiences to the world and just create a brighter future and make it more professional. Not that the athletes, even for the entire industry. Just coming to the last point, so is there any project you are really proud of? Something special?
Okay, we have done a few, quite a number of the project. For us, the most proud project we have done is only one. When our client, when we delivered our site to them, they are happy with what they get. It's not a matter of how big the project is how happy the client to accept the facility that we deliver to them.
Right.
Every project for me is proud for our client.
Same to me. So I also have no specialty where I say this is that or this is that. That's absolutely right. You know, people like to listen to stories. Storytelling is very important. Do you want to share some amazing stories from your side? Any ideas?
Basically, I don't think I dare to share or to give a philosophy of it. But throughout the year, now in the 21st century, I have emphasized through myself, we are not only work for people. We are not deliver job for the people. We only deliver the good job to our client. We're not doing the job. We only do the good job. We only want to do the good job so that we can become better and better in future.
Finally, it's all for a greater good, right?
Not job, is good job.
A greater good, for everyone, everything. Excellent. Yeah, this has been an absolutely fascinating story from Vagant origins in the cutting-edge innovation of the sports surfaces, what he went through, and of course, slightly an expectation what the future will bring. And it's much more sophisticated to come. It's just a matter of time. And for all our listeners, whether you are facility manager, architect, developer, the takeaway here is that sports flooring isn't just about meeting minimum requirements. It's about understanding whatever decision you made today, you only will realize it in the future. As we always said, you never can connect the dots before, you only can connect it afterwards. So yeah, I have to really enjoyed this episode, and it was just really great to have you here. As a long time person, we are working together a long time in different places and spaces. Thank you very much, and excellent. Looking forward to meet you soon. Thank you, Mr. Goh.
Thanks, Dr. Yus, for providing me with this opportunity to share our experience in this sport industry with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Building stronger partnerships, stronger perfection in any future we are looking for. So for the next episode, we are willing to welcome Triumph Industrial Services as our long partner in this kind of industry. We'll discover how the right partnership can transform not just floors but entire businesses. That's it for this episode for Floor to Explore. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Floor to Explore. Stay ahead, stay curious, and stay grounded. Don't forget to follow, share, and keep exploring the future of flooring with us at FLOORFINDERAsia.com. We'll see you again next time on another floor worth exploring. Floor Finder, live on it.